Main card, Mirko Krokop, Ben Rothwell. I made the mistake of picking Krokop in his last fight against Junior Dos Santos, which, looking back, probably one of the more foolish picks I've ever made. But, it's hard to let go of picking somebody that you are a big fan of and you think that they can win. Ben Rothwell, if he's going to have a huge size advantage. What he needs to do, get inside Mirko. Don't let Mirko back him up, because if Mirko backs you up, he can just, hunt you down and work his boxing and kicks and whatever. If you get inside on him, he doesn't know what to do. He's going to be outweighed, outmuscled. Look for Rothwell to get inside, use the clinch, dirty boxing, get him up against the cage, wear on him, try to take him down, work ground and pound, and if he can do that, work a good top game, I think he could, get Krokop into the quitting stage where Krokop has tended to do lately. If you get him into trouble, his mind isn't there and he quits. So look for Ben Rothwell to win by maybe a late TKO or sub or a unanimous decision. Ryan Bader against Keith Jardine. Keith Jardine, at what point, you talk about people coming in, like, what point does unorthodox mean shitty? Because, you can talk about, he's weird with his striking, like, but while he's doing that, he drops his hands and, he gets caught with huge left hooks and, can Bader win this one? Stylistically, Jardine can win this by, Bader tired out in his last fight against Red, and if Jardine can get out of the first 3-4 minutes and he can use leg kicks effectively without getting caught, leg and body kicks, without getting caught with huge shots, he could probably win a decision. Bader, though, huge power in his punches, which is Jardine's kryptonite. And, Bader's going to use his boxing, try to land huge shots, and he's going to be able to take Jardine down. Jardine, underrated on the ground, but he's not going to... If Schaefer couldn't sub Bader off his back, Jardine's not going to be able to. So look for Bader to win. If he doesn't KO him quickly, look for him to not... I don't see him getting KO'd in the early or in the mid rounds, like late first to like early third. But if he KOs him early, that'll be whatever. He can do it. If not, look for him to grind out either a decision or a late stoppage, possibly. So there you go. Ryan Bader, early KO or possibly decision, late TKO. George Sotiropoulos, Joe Stevenson, huge jump, huge. I mean, from going to fight Jason Dent to Joe Stevenson, huge jump up. Stevenson has looked fantastic ever since he went to Greg Jackson's. He's just mixing up his. He's just mixing things up a lot better. Using his boxing, then using his wrestling. Like, it's the George St. Pierre approach. Get him to think you're in a standing, then take him down. He's using his wrestling a whole lot more, his grappling a whole lot more. He impressed me against Nate Diaz, was an awesome fight. If Diaz couldn't sub him in that one, and, Spencer Fisher had trouble keeping him in his guard, and Stevenson is going to take Sotiropoulos down. Actually, he might want to just keep it on the feet. I think he's a far better boxer than Sotiropoulos is. Sotiropoulos probably going to have a reach advantage, but Joe's pretty good head movement. I think he'll be able to nullify that. And when he wants to, I think he's going to take him down, pass his guard, and work ground and pound. And Stevenson probably second round TKO, probably somewhere around there. Second, maybe early third, but Stevenson probably going to finish this fight somewhere in there. Michael Bisping against Wanderlei Silva. Let me preface this by saying that I'm not trying to bash Bisping here. Okay, so in order to prove that, I'm going to talk about how Bisping can win this fight before I say who's actually going to win the fight. Bisping, he's got good lateral movement, throws a lot of straight punches. Even back in Pride, people said that the way to beat Wanderlei Silva, since he throws a lot of huge hooks, is to use good footwork, good head movement, and throw straight punches. If Bisping can work that with his takedowns, he should be all right. I think he could possibly win it. Wanderlei, not the greatest takedown defense, but there you go. So here's why I think Wanderlei Silva will win this fight. Bisping, good lateral movement, although the problem is when he gets into somebody with huge power shots, he even did it against Cain, and that's why he got dropped, is that when he's moving side to side, he's all right. When he comes in and throws his straight punches and gets out of the pocket, he's fine. But then, when they counter him and come in, he backs straight up with his chin in the air, and that's why he gets dropped. It's what happened against Henderson. Yeah, he was moving a little towards Dan's power side, but mostly straight back, mostly with his hands down, and that could be a problem against Silva. And he does it more against power punchers than he does against anybody else. Wanderlei Silva is working with his old shoot-a-box Muay Thai instructor. He's working with Dan Henderson and Randy Couture's old wrestling coach. So, all the video I've seen of Wanderlei, he looks like he's at about 190, 195. There's a lot of intangibles in this one for Wanderlei. How is the cut going to affect him? Can he make 185? Will his cardio be the same? Will it be as powerful? Like, what is he going to be like at 185? Nobody knows. Everybody knows that Bisping is going to be 185 is his weight class. That's where he's more naturally suited to be. So, I have gone back and forth on this, believe it or not. Okay, and I will say this straight out. And no offense to anybody who's a fan of Michael Bisping. Do not like the guy. Just like some fighters, you gravitate towards, you like their style, you like whatever. Just do not like Bisping at all. Do not like the guy. He can win this fight, and I have picked him to win this fight at certain points. However, I think Wanderlei Silva is going to have the power advantage, and I think he's going to frustrate Bisping, and I'm going to go with Wanderlei Silva, late first, early second round, KO. Okay, now that that's out of the way. Main event, Rodrigo Nogueira against Cain Velasquez. Here is why I'm picking Cain Velasquez, and yes, I will give you the winner first, who I think is going to win. The UFC, or MMA judging in general, gives a very, very huge advantage to wrestlers, okay? And I don't agree. It's something I don't agree with. It's something that I hate and I bitch about all the time. But I'm actually going to use my wits and intelligence and pick that style ahead of time. Cain is going to use his striking to set up his wrestling. And a lot of the times, what Cain does is when he takes you down, he will actually take you down into half guard or into side control or work to pass as soon as he takes you down. This is going to be an advantage to him because Rodrigo is one of the very few heavyweights in the world that has a very dangerous guard. If Cain took him down and stayed in his guard the entire time, I would say yes, he's probably going to get subbed. But Cain, when he picks you up, he will throw your leg to the side, move to side control. He's always working his ground and pound to get you to move so he can take your back. And I think this is a problem. Can Nogueira catch him in a sub? Absolutely. Absolutely he can catch him in a sub. But I think for 3 rounds, if this was a 5-round fight, I might be more inclined to pick Rodrigo because I think that's more time to catch him in a sub. And, I just think it's more opportunities for him. This is a big step up. I like this match for a couple of different reasons, too. This one being that style-wise, it's a good matchup. I like to see, can the wrestler, and then, can he get subbed. Second, it's good to gauge to see where Cain Velasquez is at, because a lot of people are sick of the hype of Cain Velasquez because they don't think he's really that good. So this is a good benchmark for him to see how good is he really? Is he at that level yet? And I think he is. I don't like picking against Nogueira, but I'm going to do it, and we're going to go Cain Velasquez unanimous decision. So there you go. There are my picks. Any video ideas you guys want to throw at me? I'm open to suggestions. So hit me up with them. You guys definitely stay metal. Later.